computer. And as soon as we start just talking here, I'll go ahead and I'll be cutting things out, editing here and there.
Yeah,
So anything you don't want on here, just let me know. Um, but it's typically just a conversation about
yeah,
magic and your journey to get this far. So we discussed your past before. You've been doing magic stage shows when you were younger, and then you kind of crossed over to doing seance stuff.
yeah.
So did you do Bazaar before you did seance?
Well, it depends on what you call bizarre. I did the zigzag lady. It did several illusions that would be considered bizarre, but I didn't know it was bizarre.
Right. But you touched on a good point because usually in our group, we never talk about illusions like stage illusions being bizarre, sort of like the guillotine, That is
Yeah,
definitely a bizarre illusion
yes, it is.
and performed, you know, in that kind of, sort of realm when the head actually gets, dropped into the bucket. That is very much bizarre.
Yeah.
And it can continue to be so as long as you don't show the rest of the body, healed, which is what I would do, you know. So, Zigzag Lady, did you like Sideshow?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So I don't think everybody here knows that you have a tremendous amount of tattoos.
I've got a few.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah. For example, that shirt is not really a shirt, it's a tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Because you made the cover of magazines and things like that, and they were all tattoos all the way around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have a partial Japanese kimono is what it's called. The reason it's called partial is I didn't do anything down below my waist.
Yeah.
If you go on down on the legs and the buttocks
Yeah.
to the ankles, it's called a full kimono.
Yeah. Man.
You're looking probably nowadays to have that done several years and probably $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you owned a tattoo place, is that right?
Yes, I own two of them.
Two of them. Okay. So you didn't do the tattoos yourself. You had somebody else do them.
No, I did too. Yeah.
You did them. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That is the first time I've ever heard somebody do that to themselves. So that's cool.
Oh no,
The process of it all, really.
I didn't tattoo myself. No,
Oh, okay.
I misunderstood you. No,
Gotcha.
I did not misunderstand. Several artists worked on me, but the main one, his name was Randy Adams,
Okay.
and he was a good friend of a Japanese artist that he introduced me to, and who was a living treasure of Japan.
Mm.
And he had a chat with me, and I chatted with him about the culture and the legends. And he thought that he had a special piece, a copy of a woodblock print that was several hundred years old, that he thought would look good on my back.
Mm.
He sent it to me, and I had it put on. I
Nice.
sure did.
Nice. That,
But Randy did the work.
mhm.
He was the only one around back then that I would trust to do that in this part of the country. There were others in other part of the country who could have done it, but he was the only one in this part of the country could do it.
Mhm.
And I knew him well, and in fact, he worked with me for a couple of years in one of my shops.
Huh. Has having a tattoo ever affected your stage presence? Or do
Nope,
you,
because I don't show them on stage.
oh, do you think they would if you revealed your tattoos?
Nowadays, I don't think they would. When I was working, yes, they would.
Okay.
but I wore a tuxedo all the time. So
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how do you feel about the modern day performer not wearing tuxedos or suits and things like that?
Oh, I think it's okay. I really do. But I do enjoy seeing those performers that do come on with a tux or something and do some good sleight of hand work. You know, it reminds me of the old days.
Yeah.
You just don't see it anymore.
No, not really. Lots of people just do the thing on the camera, the
Hmm.
fast change, and that's it. The days of like Lance Burton coming out there and doing a bunch of, doves and cards and
Oh,
cigarettes,
yeah, that's over with.
the
Yeah.
beauty's gone and kind of. I know people still do it, but you don't get that same classy feeling.
No, you don't.
Not yet.
And I think it'll come back.
So do
I
I.
really do.
It always comes back in a cycle. So
Yeah.
I've always had the same thought about, a magician needs to look like a performer. He has to stand out. He or she has to stand out from the crowd, in other words.
Well, I never stood out that I know of except for my
Mhm.
size. But 'cause I didn't think I looked any different than anyone else. I certainly wasn't handsome. And so I never felt like I stood out.
Yeah,
I've always had a complex about myself that I wasn't quite up to par in the looks department. So uh, I there was a time I would avoid contacts, like stage work and stuff. But after doing a few years, that complex left. And
hmm.
so when I go somewhere to a convention or somewhere like that, I don't intend to stand out. Sometimes I do, like I say, because of my size, but I don't intend to.
Right. Now you're 6'3"?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're one of the very few people who can just look eye to eye in person.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
uh all right, so let's go back into you did sideshow or you liked sideshow. You didn't perform sideshow other than the illusions, is that what you're saying?
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was never worked in a sideshow.
Okay.
I knew everybody and you'd see me there a lot, but I never worked it. And
True, true. Yeah.
I never got tired of it. Of course, I became friends with all those folks, and I never got tired of watching them work. I was always amazed at them.
Same here. That was one of the first illusions that I ever saw was that zigzag lady. Or no, it was the snake lady.
Hmm.
Yeah. The one that Crispy Knight performed last year at Magistrorum, where you could walk up and pay a nickel to see how the illusion's done.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was me. I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
yeah, that's really old.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of hallways that you can look down in the big house of magic, right? So you have the sideshow, um, and then you can go straight into the bazaar or straight into like ghost shows. Now you've seen ghost shows, right? I mean, in
Yeah,
person. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, not many people have actually seen the older ones. They're recreating them here and there, but the old ones, man, they weren't playing around.
No, they weren't, and they spent a lot of money on equipment.
Yes. So the effects that they had back then, I mean, you could sit in a small living room type setting, a big round room, in a big round table and put some candles on the table. And when those candles go out, there's no light. But somehow, with limited technology, you have things flying around the room. You have, your hair is being blown in this weird wind that just randomly shows up. You hear the voices, the tables jumping up and down, and all of that is like crew and st kind of like stage hands or technology. But it's, that's stuff that you got to see back then. You see it now, but it's done differently.
Theaters back then, the movie theaters
Yes.
back then were very popular. And I can remember there was a theater at the end of World War II. My family moved to a suburb of Dallas, and we lived in a place called Oak Cliff. And Oak Cliff had a couple of theaters. One was the old type, all the beautiful drapes and pilasters and all of that in there. They had a big stage. About 3 times a year, they'd have a show come through there.
Yeah.
Usually a ghost show, a horror show, and then some of the movie stars would come through. Like, uh, let me see, Lice LaRue came through. Uh, oh, I can't remember all of them. Anyway, they did a stage show, and the ghost shows were real popular.
Mm.
And they'd be corny now because there was a lot of sheets flying around in the air, and stuff. But the ghost shows were there, and they had the best one I saw was one with Frankenstein. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they do the old building the body?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Electricity, sparks, and all that.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they turned him loose to go out into the audience, and the lights would go black, and there'd be a bunch of screaming and carrying on, but he wasn't there.
No. Yeah.
uh,
You just going
he'd
right
been,
back onto the stage.
oh yeah, he'd been nuts to go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Over the years, you hear all the stories about how they accomplished all the screams, and I like the one where they built the box to dump the spiders on people. I like that one. And there were some others where the staff would be up in the balconies with the spaghetti in a pan like this, and they dump it over the sides. So you have like these crawling things on your head.
yeah,
All
yeah.
kinds of good stories like that. And I wish I
You
could.
couldn't get away with that now, boy.
Uh, yeah,
You couldn't.
there might be a day we go back to that, but
Somebody'd get hurt, I tell you.
you'd really get hurt. But the only way to do that now, even with signing like a consent or any other kind of contract, is still be in trouble
Yeah,
or held liable.
yeah.
Or the movie theater would eventually. Somebody would get sued. You know how people are. So,
I think liability is one of the reasons why you don't have any road shows anymore.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the thing that I described earlier was more of a seance, not so much a spook show kind of thing, but I think they're both very connected. They're similar things. The ghosts do fly around the room, but it's in a very small environment. Um, and I do like doing those. Uh, but I like what you do, the uh the Roxanne effect. You know, I really, really enjoy that. In fact, I got a new prop, I guess you call it. It is one of those lanterns like they used to use at the railroads. There's a big lantern with a red. glass on it. It is
Mm.
blood red glass.
Richmond lantern, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sure would. Well, I think once people experience a good scrying session and experience the Roxanne effect,
Hmm.
I think they'll want more. And not everybody has that experience, you know.
Hmm.
Each of us perceive things differently, and the Roxanne effect works on most people, we'll put it that way.
Can you compare it to like an out-of-body experience?
Mm.
Was that too far?
I think that's too far.
Yeah. Okay.
It may, well, I guess it could be compared to an out-of-body experience
Mm.
uh, because people see things, and sometimes they see things from above. So that tells you they're looking at above from above.
Hmm.
But I've never had anyone say or ask about out-of-body experience.
Okay. Yay me for being original.
Well, I suppose, it's very hypnotic, and some people it could cause that. It really could.
It really could. Yeah, there's.
Because it is a very hypnotic experience that people relax and experience it the way it should be.
Mhm. And it's a long-lasting effect. I still hear people talk about, Terry Tyson's um, seance that he did for our first convention,
Mhm.
and not seeing the others. So, and they want to see more. It's not
Mhm.
something that is, you do it one time and it's over.
Yeah.
You want to see more. Um, so let's see here.
I'm not sure people understand what I do really, but
That's what this whole thing is about, so they can understand and find out. Everybody says, this Roxanne effect sounds really good. The whole scrying thing sounds really good, but I don't get it. There's
yeah.
there's not a trick that you can hold in your hand and play with to figure out.
Mm.
A Roxanne effect is something you have to sit there and experience. You have to do it through the steps, otherwise it won't work for you.
Exactly.
So,
Now you have a guy come in, sit down, or a lady.
yeah.
They have no idea what Roxanne effect is, none whatsoever, and they have no idea the steps to reaching what the Roxanne effect teaches you to reach. And that's where the guy holding the session comes in. You have to lead them verbally, like holding by the hand. You have to lead them gently into a situation that's in mind that what's going on.
So if I asked you uh, to t tell us what your rules are before you start your session. Do you think you could list those rules or just tell people how you uh, kind of comfort people before they begin?
Okay, well, I have always say the same thing every time to anybody that asks me about it.
Okay.
Before you do a seance or a scrying session, and even before a regular magic routine, you should. Number one, prepare yourself. You got to be ready. Number two is prepare your situation where you are performing. prepare the performing area.
Mm.
And number three, prepare your sitters. And I do this with music and real soft music before we ever start the session, before we
Yeah.
ever go to the table. I have a little bar. We go to the bar, have a glass of wine
Mm.
or any libation they want, and hold a conversation. And you'll be surprised
Mhm.
at what you can learn from someone just for the conversation and a glass of wine. And I use everything I hear and see there.
Absolutely.
And
People tend to be a little bit more open when they have a little bit of the nervous energy and they want to know more. So they're going to open up and ask you questions and just kind of talk to you.
yeah, yeah, many are excited because they're going to experience something they've never experienced.
Mm.
I've had people come up to me and thank me and kiss me and everything else.
Well, that was me.
And and I've also had people come up and say, "Well, I didn't get a damn thing out of it." And so,
Yeah.
if nothing is happening for a person in a session, I always tell them, "Well, I said you just sit back, close your eyes, relax, take some deep breaths, and then start again." That usually will do it.
Yeah.
But you have to let them know it's not going to be any jump scares, anything come out of the darkness and grab them or anything like that. Not as what this is not what it's about.
Correct. That's
I
part of
do
your
tell, I
preparation.
do, yes, I do tell them that they may hear voices,
Mhm.
they may feel touches, uh, they may see things. The most common thing in a scrying session that I've had is the sphere opens up and a heavy vapor comes out of it and comes out across the table. Many people have seen that.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is about it, but that happens.
Before your sessions, so your goal is to tell them a little bit about what they're going to experience, but mainly it sounds to make them comfortable before you start.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, you've experienced one of my sessions, I think.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have a couple of them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how did you perceive it?
Um, I actually did see the little smoke running down the wall. Yeah, and it was black smoke. So,
Sometimes it's black, sometimes it's like a vapor.
okay. This was pretty thick and it was just going down the edges. It was kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, let's see here. Yeah, I have the one seance that's recorded and it's posted on the uh, Zara Mentalism page under the files. That was one we did over Zoom to see if it would work. Um, if it didn't work, that's fine for people. What they do get out of it is the verbiage that you use, what you say as you sit in the chair to prepare yourself. You know, you tell your intro story. I don't even know if it call it a story really. They're basically you're being a guide. You're being that
That's exactly what it is, your guide.
the guide. Yeah. Um, did you want to share your opening monologue? If for no other, I don't have a word for it. Your opening segment. Um,
Well, uh,
and I was putting you on the spot real quick. If you want, you could just imagine a whole room full of people, not a room. big room, just a small group of people, 4 or 5,
Yeah,
sitting at
yeah,
the table waiting to begin.
yeah. Well, I would start off by telling everyone to put their hands on the table. They don't have to touch hands. Just put your hands on your table. Lovers can hold hands. I don't care. Like for you to sit back in your chair, relax, kind of gaze at the sphere in front of you. Take some deep breaths with me. We want to connect our biological to our psychological, and we do that by breathing techniques. So, if you will, I would like for you to take a deep breath in, hold it for 1, 2, 3, exhale,
Mm.
hold the exhale for 1, 2, 3, inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3. If I do that, just carry that on down for usually about 6 times. And it works. It clears the head,
Hmm.
makes people feel better. They've got good fresh air and oxygen in the lungs. Their brain is stimulated. It's ready to go. And you start. I'd like for you to close your eyes and imagine that you're standing beside a beautiful, beautiful stone wall. This wall has got beautiful vines with yellow and red blooms on it. Take a walk with me. Let's look. We walk down the wall. We notice that the vines just continue on. There's something up ahead of us. Oh, it's an entrance or an exit. It's a gate. We walk up to this gate. It's not a special gate. It's just a gate. And this gate is swinging back and forth, back and forth. As this gate opens, spirits come out of the spirit realm. As you close it, they go back. Our, our job is to catch them coming through. So take what I showed you about your breathing, awareness of your head now, and gaze at the sphere. Just relax and look at that sphere. Gaze at it intently. Realize how beautiful it is and what the beautiful reflections coming out of it. You may notice a breath of air come by your ear. If you do, that's a spirit. You may hear a noise in the distance. If you do, that's a spirit. And I'll continue that through.
Hmm.
And then we close it out like you would a Ouija board, thank the spirits and ask them to return. And the lights come back on, and people are invited to talk about what they experience. Some want to, some don't. and you go from that's it. It's simple, really. Some people see how simple it is, they couldn't believe it.
Man. Um, yeah, I've heard you do this similar before. Do you think this is your most recent version, or is this something that are you switching things out here and there, or you
Well,
just kind of wing it?
they're primarily the same, Andrew. I've done it so many years,
Yeah,
and I don't have any version. I just do it.
just do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
So you know the roadmap. You just kind of walk.
exactly. I've done it so long.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant. The gate that swings open and closed is absolutely brilliant. Um, so yeah, I want to encourage people to do the Roxanne effect. Uh, Yet at the same time, I do not want to see it go mainstream, you
I
know?
don't think it will ever go mainstream because it takes too much work to learn it.
Yeah.
It's something you can't read about and then go do. You gotta learn it, practice it, understand it,
Hmm.
study it.
Yeah, again, there's no like magic, quick thing, no object. Yeah,
No, no.
yeah. And
Plus, playing with the human mind,
right.
and that can never be set in stone. Everyone's going to be different.
And you've had several return customers, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Is their experience similar each time?
Yes, it is, and I can't tell you why.
Okay.
There's one lady, she sees her long past brother every time she comes, and I asked her. I said, "Well, how do you see him? Where you?" She sees him in the sphere of all places,
Hmm.
and I got to thinking about that. That sphere is a powerful thing when you really you pick it up and hold it, or just look at it. But that thing is power,
It is.
uh, born of the earth, fire, and electricity. Oh man, how much more power could you have? If they ever learn to unlock that, we don't have to worry about electricity.
It's interesting.
There is a power there that just, in fact, when I put my hands on the sphere, my hair stands up on my arms.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it becomes addictive. I got to where I was crying all the time.
Now, scrying all the time, does that mean you were doing it for yourself as well as customers?
No, I was doing it for myself more than customers.
Okay. And how were your results? Were they similar or change once in a while?
I think they'll change sometimes depending on your mood and your physicality.
Hmm.
I think that has a lot to do with it. If you're real tired, not much going to happen. Your brain will only take too much. And the Roxanne effect is a whole lot for it to process. So if you're really tired, trying to work the Roxanne effect, it's not going to work.
Hmm. I see. So basically, it is a reflection of this other realm that's in here.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I just love it because I don't do any magic tricks. I don't do any tricks, no gimmicks, no nothing.
No.
And people take care of all that.
You do have a passion for magic, though. You do enjoy watching it, correct?
Oh, I do. Yeah. And I collect it.
Yeah.
I got quite a collection. And yeah, I collect. And kids come by and people come by. I do a little magic for them.
Right. Now, we never talked about your significant other. We've
Oh,
met, and
PJ, yeah, uh-huh.
now is it correct she studies Wiccan?
No, she's not Wiccan, but she's witch.
Okay. There's okay. Can you describe?
Wiccan is modern. It's a modern version.
It's a modern version of that. Okay. Okay. Um, how does she feel about magic?
Well, you're not going to fool her, but yeah, she likes magic well done. She does, and mentalism well done.
Well done. So,
And she's very esoteric in her thinking, and
hmm,
she's one that you'd want to sit around a campfire with. And she she's very well versed. She knows what's going on. I guarantee you.
good.
She works with crystals a lot and loves crystals.
Yeah. So do you.
Oh yeah, I do. We both do.
Yeah. I have a small collection. It keeps growing.
Yeah, ours has got crystals all over the house and all over the outside and in
Mhm.
flower beds and everywhere.
Yeah. Susan puts them outside in her little garden.
Oh yeah, they're wonderful. They
Yeah.
are.
So,
We go to the crystal mines in Arkansas every once in a while. In fact, we went up there last month, got some things.
do you go there to purchase crystals or just to?
Yeah, we're going to purchase, yeah.
Okay. Hmm. You had mentioned the hidden areas with the crystal, like the crystal caves that most people aren't aware of or are not allowed into. I think that was kind of a long time ago we discussed that. It was more of a Native American protected thing.
Yeah, the legend has it, and I don't think it's legend. There's a family that still knows where everything is.
Hmm.
Many years ago, the Cherokee people had in their possession a very large, giant quartz crystal. The way it's described, it sounded to me like it's a big, giant crystal cluster rather than one single individual cluster.
Hmm.
And their shamans had this in a cave. They protected it. And before a hunt or before anything that the tribe was going to do, they would go there and they would scry those crystals. They light torches, look at the reflections, and scry the crystals, and they would claim that they could see how the hunt was going to be, how the war was going to go, and all that. Anyway, a whole lot of their culture was based on that, on their everyday life before the white man came. Well, here comes the white man.
Hmm.
And, the Native American uh, communication is faster than Western Union.
Hmm.
They got word that settlers were coming in, moving in closer and closer. They took the crystal and away and hid it in another cave somewhere in Carolina. And the family that hid it has kept it all these years. I don't know, for years probably. Same family keeping it. And they claim it'll never be opened up as long as the white man is on the land. So that's that.
That's that.
Maybe someday it will surface.
Hmm.
I'm not sure that it would be a good thing if it did.
That kind of thing, I really enjoy hearing it because there's the element of magic tied to it, much like the Roxanne effect.
Yeah,
There's more here than we know.
there is.
Um, and it's hard to progress the outcome or the results. You just have to kind of take this journey into it and keep doing it and keep doing it to get
Yeah,
to the final result, which what is that, you know?
yeah.
As long
Well,
as you're
there,
dealing with the human mind, there really isn't a limit.
no, there is no limit.
Yeah,
There isn't. And so if there's no limit to the human mind, there's no limit to magic. It's up to us to bring the magic forth. It's not going to come on its own.
true.
There's all kinds of magic. And
So I like these talks. Out of
I
all
do
the people
too.
that I get to talk to, you know, the history I get, it's like opening a book and just reading it, but you know, kind of going through, okay, I have a question about this. Yeah, I can ask you that, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but you know, there's so much I just want to ask.
go
Uh,
right ahead.
yeah. What what do you hope to see about the future of bizarre magic? I mean, you kind of see it right now, kind of opening up and being uh, available to everyone. It's being exposed like the electronic bells that are just everywhere now.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff that we hold dear is going to open up soon, I'm sure. Um,
Well, I'm thinking that bizarre magic is going to split off into two different things. One is the magic part of it, and then you're going to have the bizarre part of it, which is going to be super, super bizarre. It, it's going to be, some people won't want to see it. And that's my take on it. It's going to, it's already split off once.
mhm,
And I think it's going to again. From indications of the performers that are getting the gigs and stuff is kind of what I'm going by. And it the indications to me are that it's going to split off. And what we're calling bizarre now is no longer going to be bizarre.
mhm.
It's going to be a run of the mill. There's going to be some real bizarre crap come out there
Yeah,
because people
sure.
have it in their heads now that that's what's attracting people. And I don't think it's what's attracting people.
Hmm.
I think the unknown is what's attracting people. And if you can work your routine around the unknown, then people are going to pay attention to you. But if you're just going to walk out there and you're going to take a fake name, you're going to slash your arm open and blood's going to run down it. You're going to wipe it off. There's not going to be a cut there.
Mhm.
That's out the window. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Now, they'll sell you every kind of gimmick in the world to do it,
Sure.
but people don't want to see that anymore. They really don't. So,
It's a different time.
yes, it is.
You
It
know, when
certainly is.
I think I was still a single digit, and my mother took us to see a show. It was a magic show, and there was a guy there performing, and he was performing the needle through the arm. And my mom freaked out. She just freaked out. But I remember seeing the guy do it through his arm. And I remember thinking to myself, it's fake. He's holding his arm like this, it's going this way, and then he showed it like this, and the blood's dripping down. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But the needle's still kind of partially going through there. It's not fully going through the arm, but it's kind of partially. I thought that was pretty cool when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
And but
of
that's the magic part of it.
course.
But you get into the bizarre part of it, you look at Crispy. He don't mess around. That's real.
Yeah, sword swallowing. Yeah, knife throwing
Well, in the
on
pins,
fire.
the needles too. All those needles he runs through his throat and his arms, and that's real.
Those staples he puts on his forehead and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah, okay. That's that's the split off of Bizarre Magic. And the carnival routines and bizarre routines are merging, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, um, we may have to make a part three to this. This is so
Oh,
much information. I could keep continuing this and keep going with this. I know that people were asking me about the tribal native part,
okay.
but I just think that's something that the history of this stuff, it depends on what side of the fence you're on, is very depressing and
Hmm.
ugly. But at the other side, if you're there, um, as a native, it's different. You're kind of
Hmm.
forced into this culture that has to remain a culture. You don't they're forced to kind of bow out and say, I accept your religion, your culture, just to survive. But
Exactly.
somehow they kept their culture, and they're doing quite well right now, actually. I think
They're
um,
doing better.
they're doing better. Things are changing. The prophecies are coming true.
Yeah.
Sorry for doing the fingers because, things are not supposed to be known. Uh,
Okay.
so,
Yeah, there's an old saying, I believe it's Hopi, that the old shamans would tell everybody when when the eagle lands on the moon and men live in houses that circle the earth,
I can't believe you're telling this story.
the end times will come.
Yeah. There's also one about cell phone devices you talk to. Um, this is an old prophecy, very old prophecy about the Hopi nation.
Yeah,
And all of those things are coming true, all of those prophecies. There's more of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
They speak of highways as spider webs, and they say spider webs will cover everything, and people will travel up and down them.
Hmm.
The highways look like spider webs, and
They
there's
do.
so many of them.
Pretty much a world of concrete.
Oh, we have so much to learn and so much to realize. And when you get my age, you realize you don't know a damn thing. But you've had experience, but you don't know a damn thing.
Mm.
And what gets me is, oh, it gets my hackles up. You're seeing so much now. Scientists are saying what happens when you die.
Hmm.
Science says what you see when you die. I like for them to tell me who the hell knows. How could they know that? They never died, and nobody knows what happens. Uh, the closest scientific explanation for it that I would come up with is one that he's got a web page here. He's a black fellow scientist.
Hmm.
What is here? God Almighty, I even belong to his deal. But he says that we're all energy, and we are. We are all energy. It can be measured, and when you die, that energy goes out into the universe. Well, that could be, but he don't know either, and he'll tell you he don't.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people fucked up in the head wanting to know about what's after life, and they're asking the wrong people about it because nobody does know. Nobody.
Yep. Not yet.
I don't think they ever will.
Once they pass away, they'll find out.
Oh yeah, when you pass away, yeah, yeah. That's what I tell everybody. I said, well, I don't know what happened. From finding out.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So I think I'm going to stop recording.